Good morning, this is Dr. Janson, and today I want to talk to you about losing weight. And that's different from the other video I made about the Dr. Janson Harvest diet. That's a diet diet advice to follow your whole life, how to find healthy foods versus unhealthy foods, and that's done forever. But losing weight, that's something that you should do over a very planned period of time. And the reason why I'm constantly talking to patients about losing weight is because a little bit of weight loss really helps reduce quite a bit heel pain, knee, hip, and back pain. With just maybe 5 or 10 pounds of weight loss, the patient has significantly less pain. And patients really struggle with losing weight. There's so many diets out there, so it's very frustrating for them. So over the years, I've really studied the topic very, very much and come up with some ideas. So I want to make a really quick 20-minute video to go over everything. But in fact, I could probably talk for 3-4 hours on this topic. So just let's go over everything really briefly. So first of all, I want you to get the concept of calories in and calories out in your mind. Calories in means you have to count calories. If you're a woman and you want to lose weight, and like I said, 10 pounds over 2 months, I would recommend 1,500 calories. And for a man, 1,800 calories, assuming you're like over 30, my typical patient. You may need to measure food, like what does a cup of cottage cheese look like? So in the beginning, for the first week or two, start measuring stuff. How much does a tablespoon of olive oil look like in your frying pan? Before you saute your spinach. So just measure stuff, and then there's a few ways to calorie count. One is with the Noom app, N-O-O-M, Noom app. And that's not expensive. It's about $20 a month for that app, and has lessons, things to read, and it's very interesting. I joined it for a year, and I found it very helpful. Another app is Fitbit. You can buy a Fitbit for about $100, and the app is free. And they have a very nice calorie counting section in the app. And there's many other apps. You can do it old school. Just take a journal, a pencil, and paper. Look up on the internet how many calories in a cup of cottage cheese, for example. And then just keep track of your calories for those 8 weeks. Really keep track. You want to try to keep it to 1,500 and 1,800 for men. So another way to think of it is in terms of grams of food, a little more complicated. So, if you're not used to calorie counting, I think you're better off, doing it very simply. But you could also think of it in terms of grams of different macros. The macros are proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Those are the 3 macros. So protein should be your body weight in grams. So I'm 150 pounds, so I should eat about 150 grams of protein. Carbohydrates, I recommend about 80 grams of carbohydrates. That's much higher than Atkins or, it's really more in the zone of the paleo diet, is 80 grams of carbohydrates. So you have enough energy during the day, you need carbohydrates. So I'd say about 80 grams of carbohydrates. And then fat should be about 40 grams. That's the least. But fats have a lot of calories. So only about 40 grams of fat. Eating very low fat or no fat makes you very unhealthy. Your brain is fat. The coatings on your nerves are fat. So you don't want to go too low on the fat. I would recommend about 40 grams of fat. Or you could, like I said, you could just do calories. Calories are maybe easier for you. So that's calories in. You need accountability. You need to keep track of your calories and keep track of how much you're eating. A pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream is about 1,200 calories. That's your whole day shot. You eat a pint of ice cream. But don't panic if you do that. Let's talk about calories out, because if you blow your calories, you could the next day just have more calories out. So that means exercise. Now, the type of exercise I recommend, now my clinic is called Walk Healthy, so of course you're going to know that I, as a podiatrist, am going to recommend walking. Walking is the best exercise because it's a low intensity, steady state exercise. LISS exercise, versus high intensity exercise. Low intensity lowers your appetite. So your appetite goes down when you have low intensity exercise, which is perfect because when later on, you know, you're not going to be so triggered to go fetch a pint of ice cream because you don't really have the big appetite. High intensity exercise triggers appetite tremendously. You know, it really increases your appetite because high intensity exercise burns up all your stored body sugar, which is glycogen in the liver and stored sugar in your muscles. So that burns sugar and makes your appetite go up. Low intensity exercise like walking burns body fat, and that's great. And when you burn body fat, you're producing ketone bodies, and those are very high energy molecules. So I think you know that if you're tired, if you're very tired, your appetite will go up because your body will want to substitute food when it can't get sleep. So one idea of the low intensity exercise is that you're burning body fat, which gives you ketone bodies, which are very energetic. So you will have more energy. And when you have more energy, you have less appetite. So you're not going to be snacking and blowing your calorie count. So now low intensity exercise, of course I like walking. So I like a 30-minute shot of walking, or 60 minutes if you can do it. I myself do almost 30 minutes of walking twice a day. I get out way before my subway stop and walk all the way up from Union Square here to where I am on 34th Street, which is over a mile. So I think it's a mile and a half. But it takes me about 25 minutes to walk that and 25 minutes back. So I'm getting, you know, I really prefer that you walk 30 minutes. But hey, I'm busy, but you do it. Try to walk 30 minutes at a pop. And if you could do it twice a day, that would be even better. So, but try to get, you want to get to 10,000 steps. That would be good. If you want to, you could use a treadmill instead of walking outside. That's fine. Treadmill's great. I really like a treadmill. I think people should have treadmills. I do have a slight preference for you being outside because you can see the perspective. You're going to produce more brain-derived neurotrophic factor when you're outside. A little bit more sensation to your brain. Triggers your cerebellum, which is very healthy. But treadmill is good. I like it. Elliptical machine or a stationary bike. And all of those at very low settings, slow and steady, burns body fat and lowers your appetite. So that's perfect. And these machines, the treadmill, they have calories on how much calories you're burning. The Fitbit does too. It tracks your steps, and it's going to give you an idea of how many calories you're burning. That may not be scientifically accurate, but who cares? Because you're just getting a sense from day to day when you look at these calories burned on these machines or on the fitness trackers. You just get a general sense from day to day, like how many calories you're burning. So I just looked at mine. So I try to have 1,500 calories in a day. And last week, my average calories burned was 2,100. So that's good because you want to have your calories out higher than your intake of calories. Now let's talk about another topic that's very interesting. It's called NEAT, N-E-A-T, and that stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So that means the calories that you burn when you're just sitting around. So I'm talking to you now, and I'm not exercising, I'm just sitting here talking, but I am burning calories. And believe it or not, your NEAT calories, your non-exercise calories, are 50% of all the calories that you burn. So just sitting around, even sleeping, you're burning calories. So one idea is to increase your NEAT calories or calories out. Isn't that great? Burn more calories doing nothing. Yeah, perfect. How do you do that? Well, the way you do that is you get a good night's sleep. Because when you sleep, your gas tank is getting filled. And your gas is ATP, which is your energy molecule. So your body has to reform these energy molecules. And it does it mostly while you're sleeping. Obviously, you're not burning the ATP right up. So your body can start accumulating ATP, which is energy molecules. So that means that your metabolism is higher if you are burning more ATP in the day. And it does take 8 hours to get a full tank. So 7 hours, not really. You really need 8 hours of sleep. Some of these fitness trackers, you wear them while you're sleeping so you can see what is the average amount of hours that you're sleeping. So 8, 8.5, 9, that's good. 7 is really not enough, 7.5. It's good, but it's not great. Try to get 8 hours of sleep, which means you're in bed for 9 hours, because you wake up a little bit. So try to get a good night's sleep, and that will increase your calories burned doing nothing. So that's, really perfect. Burn those calories. That's how you lose weight. So that whole concept of that is calories in versus calories out. So let's talk about a few other things. One is to eat 4 meals a day is a good idea. And you've probably heard of intermittent fasting and all these other ideas. And the problem with that is that, number one, your appetite will go way up when you feel really hungry for a period of time. You will lose your willpower. Noom calls it the elephant. You're the rider on the elephant, and the elephant is your appetite, and it can get out of control, and you cannot control it. You will, like a robot, go to Wawa and get Reese's peanut butter cups, and you don't even know you're like a Roboton getting these snacks, and you can't control it. And that's because you let your appetite, get out of control. So that's the idea of eating 4 meals a day. You never really let yourself get super hungry or fasting or starving. Your appetite goes out of control. Your willpower will disappear. So do eat breakfast. Make sure you eat breakfast, and actually eat 4 meals a day. Like breakfast, lunch, early dinner, and late dinner. Something like that is a really healthy way to eat because you control your appetite. Another good idea is to meal plan. Cook on the weekend, like Sunday, cook 3 tubs of meals. So make turkey chili, chicken stew, poached salmon with sauteed spinach, whatever. But make 3 tubs of food, and then you can have 2 nights worth of food with 1 tub. So you get home from work or whatever, and your meal is all planned, versus you come home, you're really tired, and you say, oh, I should cook. What should I cook? I'll just order Domino's so that, your willpower is gone. But if your food is already there, you just have to heat it up. Add some frozen vegetables. You have a tub of salad. You can throw that in there. A can of beans. You can just add stuff to it to make it different, or, to spice it up a little bit. Add vegetables to it. But meal planning is very important. Have food cooked and ready. And maybe a journal, what you're going to eat each night. Really keep track of what you're going to eat that week. So that's it pretty much in a nutshell. Things that I've learned, that are opposite of what I thought like 10 or 20 years ago. Carbohydrates are not your enemy. I'm not a fan of bread and pasta because that's just way too much sugar. But do eat carbohydrates, beans, things that are not on the Atkins diet, fruit and nuts, seeds, squash. Squash is really great. Zucchini, cauliflower rice, pasta made out of peppers. In the grocery store you can buy all these substitutes for pasta. So try to eat more vegetables, less of the processed grains. That's just really too much sugar. All right. Well, good luck with this. I hope I've helped you get a good idea. It's based on so much experience with patients. I work with patients 4 or 5 times a day, and next year I'm working with patients for 40 years, so it's a lot of experience. And can you please do me a big favor and please subscribe to my YouTube channel, especially if you're my patient, because the material I'm giving you will help you, walk more, be more active, a healthy weight, and your medical doctor will be really happy with that. So please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, thank you very much, and good luck with that.